Mrs. Warner's class was outside for recess when the first snow of the season started. They counted the snowflakes that landed on 3 swings. The first swing had 4 snowflakes. The second swing had 6 snowflakes. And the third swing had 8 snowflakes. What was the increase in snowflakes from one swing to the next? I do like to be clear, like this is a magical situation, right? Very rarely would you in nature find snow falling on this first swing, second, and third. So there's a little bit of winter magic happening here, but still fun anyway. Let's hear what Wyatt has to think about this problem. What was the increase in snowflakes from one swing to the next?
What is increase?
Well, what does increase mean?
I don't know.
So if you are now 6 and you are a certain height, and then when you're 7, you increase in height. What do you think that means?
So you get higher.
You get taller. Okay, maybe something gets more, so it's increasing in the number of snowflakes so that there's more snowflakes. Good question. Thanks for asking that. How many snowflakes does the first swing have on it?
3.
The first swing had 4 snowflakes.
4.
The first swing had 4 snowflakes. So let's say this is where the first swing is. Where are you going to put on it? How many snowflakes are on this swing? And then here, I'm going to draw like another swing. This swing had 6 snowflakes. What are you going to put there? And then here, let's draw another third here. This is our third swing. It has 8 snowflakes. What are you going to put on that third swing? Ooh, nice. Now the question says, what was the increase in snowflakes from one swing to the next? Can you put these kind of like closer together? Nice. And that one closer over there. We want to find how much did this increase to the next. So the second, prove it. How about the next one? It increases from 6 to 8.
2.
2. You found a pattern. If there was a 4th swing and this increased at the same rate, like say so magically the 4th one gets. I think that's skipping ahead, so I didn't want to ruin our discussion. But so same thing. Head over to the chat. Tell me what math, and I think you guys have already been putting there, so I'm going to go read some of the ones that you already put there. But what math concepts are kids utilizing to solve this real world situation? Let's see. Mia, you say more and less. Karen, you say counting on. Christine, subitizing. Georgiana, you say +2. Thomas, 2 snowflakes difference between each swing. Vanessa, you say skip counting by 2s and counting on. Skip counting. Everybody is like, yeah, skip counting. We do. We have skip count. Susie, you say patterns, skip counting, difference, vocabulary of increase. And didn't you hear him ask, like, wait a second, what does increase mean? And I loved that. Number one, he felt like he could ask for clarification. That's a skill in all of itself, right? Whenever we are wrestling through some sort of problem, it is important to ask questions about, I wonder what this means. What does this word mean? And I loved it. He had the confidence, the math confidence to ask that question. Katie, you say comparing. Dawn, counting on. Even numbers. Absolutely. Gina, you say looking for a pattern. 100%. We are, and our brains are built for this, right? Picking up on patterns and making sense of something. So he said immediately 2, and he's got those clues. So I'll build this right here. 2, what do we have here? 4, 6, and 8 snowflakes on the screen, on the swings. And I'll put it here. He depends a lot. Have you noticed that? He looks at the side where he can feel the difference there because these not sections, they represent the one-to-one correspondent of each number. So I have a total of 4 units for 4, 6 units for 6, 8 units for 8. And when we're increasing, we can see that consistent increase of 2 going up. Well, what concepts? Oh, what, am I crazy? We already did that. Finding a pattern, finding the difference, continuing a pattern, counting by twos. You guys got it. Absolutely. Now, what math language can we model or encourage? And actually, Wyatt was modeling that for us. Like, what is increase? And then we can have a discussion about that. What questions could we ask Wyatt? And I'm going to kind of even go to our next slide, and it's all talk about, it kind of goes together. Like, what questions are we going to ask our kids if they get stuck with this? What questions are we going to ask if we want to challenge them more? Head over to the chat. I want to hear your ideas. I'm going to start with the lower the floor one. What if they don't get it? And, you know, I wish I would have asked him a question, because it took a long time to realize, because instantly in the first place, he picked up a 3. And it took me a long time, even after we weren't even together. I'm thinking, because I was thinking, why did he pick up a 3 at first, right? And here's what's so cool about math stackers is I can see their thinking. So if he picked up a 3, there's a reason he picked up the 3. Can anybody guess what that reason is? Candace, you say, use rule to find unknown for later years, input, output. Oh, Candace, we're going to get there on the raise the ceiling part. I love that you said that. Ashley, for breaking it down, we have how many notches are between each stack, like those sections, they can feel it, right? That would be breaking it. Why don't you feel the difference? Is it the same? I love that. Paula, you got it. And Bernice and Ashley. It's because there's 3 swings. I know I'm jumping all over the place, but he picked up a 3 in the beginning of the video because there's 3 swings. And I wish I would have noticed that he even did that then, because we could have had a conversation like, why are you holding that 3? Do you know what I mean? And say, okay, it represents the 3 swings, but what is the question asking? And he immediately got it after that. But I wish I would have, I feel like I gave up an opportunity to have a math conversation about that. And it would have been awesome, because in a problem, there's quite a bit of information sometimes, right? That we don't need to know. I mean, we do need to know 3 swings, but we're not using that as a quantity necessarily. They're placeholders in this case. Okay, awesome. It could also add 1 blocks, right? So feeling the notches, if we're going to break it down further, we're going to go ahead and say that we're going to add 2. And that's how we can figure out the pattern. So how about raising the ceiling? I'm going to come over here. Oh, Dawn, I love that question. Does each swing get more or less than the one before? Gina, you are asking a question. I love it because it is continuing on like Amy's and Thomas's idea of let's predict what happens. So Gina is asking, what would happen for the 6th swing or the 8th swing, etc. Okay, so I do end up asking Wyatt this question, at least what's the next one? So let's watch his reasoning there. If there was a 4th swing and this increased at the same rate, like say that so magically the 4th one gets the same increase, how many snowflakes are going to be on the 4th swing?
0.
If the pattern stays the same. 4, 6, 8.
4.
You think it's going to go all the way back down? Oh, I see, because you think like this one. But what if we're looking at increases 2, it increases 2, what if it increases 2 again? How many's going to be on the, how many's going to be on that next swing? How many?
2.
10. Dude, awesome thinking. I love it. Thank you for sharing your reasoning with us. So he was able to continue that pattern 1, but I love the ideas. If we need to raise that ceiling anymore, we can say what's going to be on the 6th, what's going to be on the 8th, and depending. So some of you teach like through 4th grade, I read, when we were introducing ourselves, or you may just have a kid that's ready for this type of reasoning. Let's think of a way that we can predict no matter what swing we have, right? What if there's this weird bizarro land and it's just like swings forever and this magical snowstorm comes in and it just happens to increase 2 snowflakes on each continuous swing seat going that way. It's bizarre, but still it's fun to think about. So if it increases 2, increases 2, increases 2, increases 2, increases 2, increases 2, right? We are going to have a nice kind of graph situation. I'm going to pull this way so I can get it. There we go. So I don't know if you are in Math Stackers, if you have a Math Stackers learning system. We did an entire, I think, hour-and-a-half session over graphing that you can use from like 2nd grade, 1st grade, even if you're just talking about it, all the way up through really 6th grade. But look what we have right here. So he said, okay, if I add 2, right, that works. I'm going to have 10 here. My next one's obviously going to be 12. But I want to know I want to figure out a way to predict this. So I get it. If you teach kindergarten and that's it, you're like, what are we talking about? But we want to be able to differentiate, raise that ceiling for our kids that know it. So let me ask you this. This is the 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st swing. What would the 0th swing be? How many snowflakes would be on the 0th swing? Get it? It's like the one before that. How many snowflakes would be right here? What math stacker would I need to put right down here? I'm gonna let you guys think. If it's increasing this way, we can always go down. So it decreases from 10 to 8. We had a decrease of 2, right? From 8 to 6, we had a decrease of 2. You guys are getting it. From 6 to 4, we had a decrease of 2. This is looking pretty, I don't know, constant, like a constant rate of change. And then we have from 4, so this is our first swing, down to the 0th, if that's a term. And we're going to come here. Oh, and you guys all have it over there in the chart. It's like 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Here we go. So this is the 0 position, right? 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Well, what do they all have in common? All of these will have what? And you guys are still putting it up there. 2. Yes. Every single one of these will have a 2 in it, right? And it just increases in the next one an amount of 2. You know what? I didn't even plan to talk about this, but we're raising the ceiling, baby. So here we go. I'm going to get out my 2s. Here we go. Except now I blocked the things. Here we go. Let's put them over here. So all of these, I'm going to put this in front of here. We've got 2s, 2, 2, and 2, right? They all have a 2. Well, this is the what swing? The first swing. And we're changing by each time 2. So I'm changing in the first swing 1 time 2. Uh-oh, looky there. That's a total. Well, here's the second swing. From the 0th swing to the second swing, how many 2s have I changed? 2, right? 2 2s, which would make that. We had that first one that all of them have, and then we have that, so changed one. Here's my third swing, same thing. We have the one that everybody has, and then we had a rate of change from it. We're on the third swing. I'm going to grab 3 2s and add on there, and we've got that 8. Are you with me? Okay, and then we have the fourth swing that Wyatt found. We had that 2 before, and then 4. Do you see how we are now graphing? We have our constant, which is 2, which is a little confusing because it's all the same, right? So this is our y-intercept in a case. If we were to graph this, and you know what, if you were in the graphing webinar, I brought one of these out. I really just kind of, we're on the fly right now. So this is not it. Oh, you know what? There we go. We could use our mini magnets. Oh my goodness. And we could put our 2s on here and we could graph this just like we did in our graphing webinar. And we have special graph paper that's in Math Stackers U. It's a resource for you if you have a Math Stackers learning system. It's in there. I can show you where to find it later. And you could graph this for your ones that are ready. But us talking about going from, so in this one problem, we went from, what's the increase on these 3 swings to write an equation for this situation, and that being y equals 2x plus 2, right? To figure that out. So there's quite a stretch. Do your kids all have to be able to do this part? Nope. You may have 0 kids ready to talk about the 0th swing, okay? And that's okay. It's just we're ready for them, right? We're ready to have these conversations and the tools to have these conversations to raise the ceiling or lower the floor so that we're meeting all of their needs through problem solving. And problem solving is just such a wonderful way to be able to figure out what math is being used. And then you can always write these equations down. Jennifer, you asked, these are fantastic. However, are the students able to figure out their answers without the blocks as visuals? Absolutely. It's just like a manipulative, right? These are manipulatives. So when you use them, you're connecting it to those equations. So you can write it down in their journal, the equations, but we've got a lot of different solutions here and different ways to do it. Whoopsies. So whatever way was appropriate for your students to write down, then they write that down in their journal and they're seeing 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 plus 2 is 8, 8 plus 2 is 10. Okay, where in the world can I find all of these resources? So I'm going to head into Math Stackers U and show you exactly where to go. We got all sorts of stuff in here. I'm going to head down first to the stuff that we talked about. We are in exclusive Math Stackers U webinars. I have a coming soon thing, so I'm going to load this actually up tonight. I'm going to try, or very early in the morning. So all of you that are here tonight and have your learning system and already are in Math Stackers U, this will be ready hopefully by tomorrow. My goal is to 100% have it ready to go and accessible by 10 a.m. Okay. We're going to come on down. There's so much that we have for you in Math Stackers. I'll tell you a little bit about all of this just to make sure if you're new to Math Stackers, you know where to go. Problem solving for grades K through 2nd. You see this right here? Each one of these is a video. I put the 3 that we talked about today in the front. You can watch those in full length, not just a smaller clip. And then we have all sorts of other situations, problem solving situations. And in each one of these, so here's our building a snowman one. If you click on it, there we go. I'm going to come down here. It tells you a little bit about what's covered, the concepts in that description or the overview. Did you see that attachments tab? I'm kind of circling it. So here is your overview, the attachments. You can click this building a snowman download, and that card, that basically that image, oh, it's this. Here, I can just show you. And you'll print off this. Oh. You can't see me, can you? Okay, I'll show you when we come back what it is. But there's a station card with that problem on it that you can print out and share with your kiddos and do that. And they all have one of those. Each of these problem solving videos down here have, it's not really loading. Are we still here? Let's see. Ay caramba. Anyway, these will pop back up. We also have guest experts where I bring in educators like Leanna Wilkes. She's going to do one for us in the future. She's working on some awesome stuff. We've had Maria Mercedes Champion. We've had Teacher Tricks ×2. We've had Mr. Greg of the Kindergarten Smorgasbord, and Katie and Stacy are Teacher Tricks ×2. These are awesome educators that use Math Stackers in their classrooms. These are full sessions, guys, that you can click and that you can access the downloads from that session and use them in your class that day. I've got a build math Thinkers webinar series. It starts with addition, builds with subtraction, multiplication, and fractions. Those are great introductory to the discovery guide videos. So our discovery guide that comes with our learning system, that's the one with the blocks, right? And our written works that come with it. Each of these is a video of each level in the discovery guide, and each of them has a station card that you can print off and do with your kiddos, and it goes all the way up to adding fractions. And you can see like the same two kiddos that did addition, did subtraction, you'll see their reasoning build each level. Same two kiddos from multiplication, fractions, and adding fractions, you see their reasoning build. And then we have these exclusive Math Stackers U webinars, just like you're in today. This one's going to be loaded up, but here's that graphing one, the first one right here. It is an hour and a half. This is where you will find that graph paper. We have a ton of resources in here. Foldable station cards, all different types of situations involving graphing. You can find it in there. And there's full-length kid videos. So when we did these with a small group of students, we filmed it so you can see their real reaction, their real confusion, their real success and extra thinking, all of it. You can just see how it naturally happens. Place value, pattern challenges, multiplication, and then we'll load up the 2 from this week. Those will be on there. If we have some pre-K teachers, I know we do, here with us today. We have 12 of our 20 early learning book activities. This is the book that comes with our learning systems, videos of kids doing that. And then, of course, we have our problem solving for 3rd through 5th grade on here. And we have some pattern extension challenges. And we've got some fun new types of challenges that we're going to be doing this spring with you guys. So much is in Math Stackers U. You guys, we hear all the time about people who are in there utilizing all of this stuff, because we want to make sure that when you invest in a Math Stackers learning system, you are equipped to use this every day. So if you have a number reasoning type concept that you are investigating, trying to discover, Math Stackers has got you. If you're wondering, like, wait a minute, do I have Math Stackers U access? The number one question to ask yourself is, do I have a Math Stackers learning system? If you have not yet invested in a Math Stackers learning system, you're not in Math Stackers U, because it's the only way to get in there. So head to mathstackers.com, load up your classroom with a Math Stackers learning system. Tell your principal, let's get it into your grade level. Let's get it across your school and your district so that your kiddos can be building this math thinking and having access to all the resources in Math Stackers U. And the only place you can get Math Stackers learning systems is mathstackers.com. We don't sell them anywhere else. So make sure you're getting Math Stackers learning system from mathstackers.com.